Hello class 10th. Now let's start chapter number 25, probability. This is the last chapter of your syllabus. And introduction. Let's see what does it says. Consciously or unconsciously, all of us sometimes use the phrases like most likely, almost uncertain, most probably, no chance at all, etc. If we read these phrases carefully, we will find that all of them involve an element of uncertainty. Matlab, you are not sure. The measure of uncertainty is called the theory of probability. How you measure the uncertainty of anything, of any event, of any experiment, that we are going to study in this, and it comes in the theory of probability. Now, study of the theory of probabilities is of great mathematical interest and of great practical importance. Yes, children, whether you experience it knowingly or unknowingly, but all the time we are using probability in our life. Even if we are crossing the road, we are seeing the probability of crossing it or not, that we'll be able to cross the road or not. We quickly estimate that thing. So that all comes in probability. But here in mathematics, we have got some fixed formula and some fixed things which we have to know before starting this chapter. So one term you will see here is experiment, a process which results in some well-defined outcome. Now the outcome has to be well-defined. Any process or any experiment which you are doing, if it has got a well-defined outcome which you can count, which you can see, which you can, that is your experiment. For example, suppose you are tossing a coin or you are throwing a dice. Now when you toss a coin, you have got fixed two outcomes, either head will come or tail will come. Similarly, if you are throwing a dice, so you know the outcomes that any of these six can come, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this is well defined. Now next term is random experiment. Means all the outcomes of the experiment are known in advance, but any specific outcome is not known. We know that when we are throwing a dice, all these can come, but which one will come, we don't know. We know that 1 can come, 2 can come, 3 can, but when before throwing this thing dice, we don't know either 2 is going to come or 3 is going to come or 6 is going to come. That is random. For example, tossing a coin is random because there are only two possible outcomes, but these outcomes are well known. We know that only two things can come, head or tail, but specifically what is going to come, that we don't know. So that is called random experiment. Now a random experiment may result in two or more outcomes. Now sample space, what all outcomes come, that makes your sample space. The set of all possible outcomes is called sample space and is denoted by capital S. For example, if you are throwing a dice or tossing a coin, suppose you are tossing a coin, you know that what is going to come, head or tail. Out of this, it cannot be anything there. So sample space is equal to H comma T, that is head comma tail. Similarly, when you roll a dice, you know what all can come, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So this is your complete sample space. Now suppose two coins are tossed together or two dice are rolled together. What is going to happen now? The outcomes will be like this. And now you can understand this with the help of this. Suppose I toss the coin, I can get either head or I can get either tail. If I get the head coin, I can get any of these two. Suppose if I get the head, again I toss, I can get head or I can get tail. Suppose in the case of tail also, next time I can get head or I can get tail. And suppose there are two coins, so anything can happen with, again, suppose there are two coins, it is also going to give us head and tail, it also, but with its head, there can be head and tail, head and tail. With this head, these two can be there, and with this tail, again these two can be there. So total 4 outcomes we will get, head, tail, head and tail. Similarly, if we are rolling two dices together or one after the other, what all outcomes can be there? 1 1, because suppose on the one dice, these outcomes can be there. 4, 5, 6, and similarly here 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So suppose 1 has come on the first dice. So we don't know what has come on the second one. It can have 1, it can have 2, it can have 3, it can have 4, it can have 5, it can have 6. So all like this. Similarly, suppose 2 is there on the first one. Again with this 2, there can be 1, there can be 2 on the other dice. So, and suppose if there are 1 dice and 1 coin. Now what is going to happen? With head also the other any number can be there, and with tail also any other number can be there. So these are the possible outcomes they have given in the starting of the chapter only. You can just have a look at them. Now equally likely outcomes. In case of tossing a coin, it is known in advance that coin will land with its head or tail up. Any one of is going to be there. It is reasonably assumed that each outcome is as likely to occur as the other. In other words, we say that equal chances for the coin to land up with head or tail. Right? They both have got equal chances to appear. The chances which head have to come, same the chances tail have. Now in case of throwing, so referring to terms used in the chapter, we say that outcomes head and tail are equally likely, means they both have equal chances to occur. Now what is an event? An outcome of the random experiment is called an event. Any outcome that is called an event of the random experiment. In other words, an event is something that happens. Suppose on tossing a coin, the possible outcome is head or tail. Then getting a tail is an event of the experiment. We know the outcomes, but what is actually coming? That is head. That is the event. Similarly, in throwing a dice, we know all the outcomes, that only these 6 numbers can come. Any of them can come. But suppose I get 1. So 1 is the event. है ना? Suppose I got 3. So 3 is the event. In the same way, suppose there is a pack of well shuffled cards. 52 cards are there. I think you know this. And so there are 52 events, because any of them can come. When we choose a random card from there, outcomes are 52, but I am choosing 1, so any one of them can come. So total events are 52. Now measurement of probability. Now if an experiment, the total number of events are n. Suppose in an experiment total number of events are n, out of which m events are favorable to a particular event, and I want particular m event, then the probability of happening of event E is denoted by m upon E, or you can say number of favorable to E upon total number of possible outcomes. Suppose what I wanted to say, it is written already here. If a dice is rolled once, an even number is required. I require even number. So my favorable outcomes are 2, 4 and 6. What all can come is 1 to 6. But what all I want is 2, 4, 6. So the which I want is, they are 3 number and total number is 6. So the answer is number of favorable outcomes upon total number of outcomes, that is 3 upon 6, that is 1 upon 2. Now let's see an example. Find the probability of getting a head when a coin is tossed. So before finding the probability, find out how many possible outcomes are there. So we have got 2 possible outcomes, head and tail, and I want getting a head. I want head. It is only 1. So probability of getting head is number of favorable outcomes upon total number of all possible outcomes, that is 1 upon 2. Now there is a MCQ type of information here. An event having only one favorable outcome is called elementary event, as shown in the example given above. Similarly, events in the following examples are also elementary events. Now let's see. A bag contains a ball, a black ball, a red ball and a green ball. All the balls are identical in shape and size. Mohit takes out a ball from the bag without looking into it. What is the probability that the ball drawn is red? First of all, find out total balls. There are 3 balls, and how many red are there? 1. So what is the chances of red? Out of 3, only 1 chance that he can get a red. Similarly for black. Similarly for green. but you cannot just write 1 upon 3, 1 upon 3, you have to write the language also. Total number of possible outcomes 3. Total number of favorable outcomes 1 in case of red. Now the probability of drawing a red ball is 1 upon 3. Similarly, probability of drawing a black ball, probability of drawing a green ball. And yes, one more interesting fact, sum of the probabilities of all the elementary events of an experiment is always 1. Suppose if you add all these probabilities, you will get 1. The sum of the probabilities of an experiment is always 1. Now let's go to next. In a single throw of a dice, find the probability of getting a number. First is greater than 2. But wait, first of all write what are the outcomes. Total possible outcomes, you can start from here. Total possible outcomes are 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Mention the outcomes also. Then out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, you don't need to write all this language. You can just write total number of favorable outcomes 4. Greater than 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And they are 4 in number. So favorable outcomes 4 and total outcomes 6. So the answer is 2 by 3. Then second is less than or equal to 2. Now less than and equal to 2, there are only 2 outcomes. So total number of favorable outcomes 2 and total 6. Similarly, last one is not greater than 2. It should not be more than 2. It means it should be either 2 or less than 2. So 2 upon 6 again. Okay class. Now one very interesting fact and very important also. In a single throw of a dice, getting number less than or equal to 2 means the same. Now more important is this one. If the event of getting a number 2 is denoted by E, suppose you are denoting this thing by E, then of not getting is E bar. Are you getting my point? And the sum of both the probabilities is going to be 1. Is going to be 1. Getting and not getting together gives you 1. And therefore E and E bar are called complementary events. That is, for any event E, the event of non-occurrence is called its complementary event and is denoted by E bar. And last but not the least, the sum of probabilities of an event and its complementary event is always 1. Now from this we'll discuss in the next video.